Hey everyone, Andrew back again and welcome to another video. And for today's video I'm here to do a tag response. I got tagged by David from David's Horror, so David, thank you for tagging me. And this particular tag thread was created by Sean Urshan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave both Sean and David's channel links in the description box below. And if for some reason you're not already subscribed to either of them, please check them out. They are both fantastic guys, and yeah, I highly recommend subscribing and supporting their channels. So this is the John Carpenter tag, and I've got to apologise ahead of time because a lot of my answers are going to be pretty generic and kind of repetitive in regards to one movie in particular, which is probably honestly going to be no surprise to anybody. But yeah, it is the way that it is with this tag because this tag is pretty specific. Anyway, I'm just going to get straight into it here. So I've got the questions written down on a piece of paper. So yeah, let's get started. So number one is favourite John Carpenter score. No-brainer for me, definitely the score from Halloween, surprise surprise. But in all honesty though, I couldn't pick any other Carpenter score. I absolutely love the Halloween score. It's not only my favourite from Carpenter, but one of my favourite movie music scores in general, so I had to go with that one. Number two is the most underrated John Carpenter movie. I've got two that I'm wanting to quickly talk about. The main one though is definitely Vampires. No one ever really talks about that movie, and I think it is pretty good. I do definitely think it is a really solid Carpenter movie, so if you've never seen it before, I definitely recommend checking it out. It's got some really good effects, and I really love the setting of the movie too. The other one that I wanted to mention is The Ward. This is a few years old now, but it is the most recent full-length release from Carpenter, and again, I think it is a really good film and one that hardly anyone ever talks about. So yeah, if you've never seen Vampires or The Ward, I would recommend checking them out. Alright, question 3 is scariest scene in a John Carpenter film. I'm going to go with the opening scene in Halloween, mostly specific when Michael's parents arrive home and they take the mask off Michael, and we find out that the person that killed the girl upstairs in the house is a little kid. I just find that whole scene and that concept in general very scary. Just the blank expression on his face as well. So yeah, I'm going to go with that scene. And to follow it up, question 4 is most suspenseful scene in a John Carpenter film. Again, I'm going to have to go with Halloween for this one. Apologies on that. But I'm going to go with the wardrobe scene where Laurie's hiding in the wardrobe and Michael breaks through and is trying to kill her. Extremely suspenseful scene in my opinion, so I am going to go with that one. Okay, question number 5 is favourite non-horror film by John Carpenter. Now, unfortunately, I haven't seen a lot of John Carpenter's non-horror films, but for this one I'm going to have to go with Assault on Precinct 13. Great film, a classic, so yeah, I'm going to go with that one. Number 6 is Will Michael Myers Ever Die? That is a very interesting question. I'm not entirely sure. It's a possibility with the third installment of the new trilogy that we have at the moment. Halloween Ends. It'll be very interesting to see if that is the end of Michael or is it the end of Laurie. So yeah, to answer that question, I'm not entirely sure. I don't think he's going to ever die off completely, or at least I hope not. Okay, number 7 is which John Carpenter has the best spooky atmosphere? I'm definitely going to have to go with The Fog for this one. There's really no other Carpenter movie that comes to mind in terms of amazing atmosphere. Most specifically the scenes involving the ghost pirates and the church. But yeah, all round in general, this movie, The Fog, has great atmosphere, so definitely have to go with that one. Number 8 is what is the worst John Carpenter film? I may get a bit of flack for this, but I'm going to have to go with Christine. I don't think it's a bad movie, but I'm not a fan of it, and it is definitely probably my least favourite Carpenter film. I don't know what it is about it. I'm just not a big fan of Christine. Number 9 is if John Carpenter came to direct a sequel, what should it be? I would definitely like a sequel to The Thing. Like David said in his response, I'd really like to find out what happens after the end of the original movie, and it's such an amazing film that I would definitely like an official sequel to that one. And the last question, question number 10, is does John Carpenter have one last great film in him? Again, I'm going to kind of have to go the same route as David said. I kind of think he's done with directing as such. And I think he's more sort of focused on still being involved with the movies, of course, but I think he's quite happy composing the music, doing a little bit of producing work, stuff like that. So still, I definitely think he's going to be involved with movies, but perhaps not from a full-on director's standpoint. So I could be wrong. I mean, I'd love him to come back and direct another film, because I think overall he has directed some absolutely incredible films over the years, but I kind of think that might be behind him. So yeah. There you go, guys. That was my 10 answers to the John Carpenter tag created by Sean Urshan. So once again, Sean, thank you for coming up with this tag thread. I really enjoyed answering all these questions. And to David as well, thank you so much for tagging me. I do definitely appreciate it. So once again, if you're not subscribed to Sean or David, their links will be in the description box below. So I'm going to tag a couple of people for this. I'm going to be tagging Bryn over at Horror Hands. I'd definitely be really interested to hear your answers to this one. And I'm also going to be tagging Tony from Horror in Todge. Again, I would definitely be really interested in hearing your answers to this one. So no pressure, guys. If you guys feel like doing a response to this, that would be great. And anyone else out there watching this video, if you guys want to be involved and also participate, that is completely fine. But yeah, that does it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and thank you for watching.